Good afternoon, North Georgia. I am student meteorologist Justin Williams here to give you your North Georgia weather forecast. Let's take a look at what's happening here in Georgia right now. Really, north of Atlanta, you guys are on into the 40s, but south of Atlanta, you guys are into the 50s, even into the 60s down towards the Florida-Georgia line. But don't worry, here in Athens, we're going to be joining the rest of us here into the 50s is what we're going to be expecting here by your late afternoon. 55 degrees by the time date night's going to be happening tonight on your Valentine's Day, but unfortunately, we're going to be decreasing in temperature. It's not going to be a very good night, really much past midnight tonight. We're going to be having the wedge come on in, bringing us some pretty cold temperatures and some rainy conditions, unfortunately, that are going to be persisting going into tomorrow. Showers and really a high of 44, if you even call that a high, is going to be expected tomorrow. And like I said, this is all caused by the wedge. So I'm going to take you through what this is real quick. Essentially, we do have this high pressure right here to the northeastern part of the United States. That's going to be bringing a lot of this cold and wet air that's in the northern Atlantic Ocean, bring it on into our region, and it's just going to set up shop and sit right over us for the next 48 hours, give or take. Going into your Saturday midday, it is really in full force right here. North of Macon, you guys are on into the 40s. South of Macon, you guys are into the 60s. So that is going to be a really big gradient of temperature here. It's going to be cold and wet down here, and most likely warm and nearly sunny south of Macon. So it's not going to be looking too good for your Saturday. It's not going to be a very good Saturday to continue those Valentine's Day plans. But fortunately, going into Sunday night, we're actually going to be seeing an increase of temperature as we go in overnight due to a warm front that's going to be pushing that wedge on out of here. And that's going to be setting us up for a pretty decent Sunday after we have a round of thunderstorms move through our area. Fortunately, the severe risk here in Athens is very limited by the wedge. That is one of the few good things about the wedge, is that when it's cold, thunderstorms don't like it. Severe thunderstorms definitely don't like it. But towards the west, it's going to be a little bit warmer. The wedge might deteriorate a little bit faster down there towards the western part of our region. So that's why there is a slight risk all the way from Columbus all the way down into Rome. There's a slight risk for severe thunderstorms, and the main mode of severe weather is going to be damaging straight line winds. So these are just winds up to 60 miles per hour is going to be expected. That is going to be the main threat here in North Georgia. There's also kind of a minor flood threat here in North Georgia as well. The grounds are going to be very saturated going into Saturday, so when we get about an inch of rain going into Sunday morning, we could be seeing some localized flash flooding in some places. This is what it could look like starting at 8 a.m. Saturday, pretty much a washout for much of North Georgia. And as we go into the day, some showers here and there for much of the region. It's going to be a wet one, wet and cold is going to be the consensus Saturday. Then Sunday, early morning, you can see this strong line of storms make its way into northwest Georgia first. It's going to be making its way towards the southeastern part of our region. And about 4 a.m., that's when they could be seeing some of the heavier storms. This is most definitely heavy rainfall as well, maybe even a severe thunderstorm or two embedded within that line. Most likely no tornadoes, but the tornado risk is non-zero, but it is very low. And as we go in through the next couple hours, going into your lunchtime, it will be making its way across North Georgia, leaving us with some clouds left over here during your lunchtime. And it's going to be clearing us up as we go into your start of next week. In terms of rainfall totals, though, about an inch is going to be expected for much of North Georgia. Some of us could be seeing a little bit more than an inch, give or take, but about an inch is about the consensus that you guys can expect for this event Sunday morning. So 7-day forecast, it's going to be a wet one Saturday. Sunday, it's going to be wet towards the beginning part of the day, but it's going to be pretty nice towards the end of the day. Monday, Tuesday, a very peaceful start to your week. A little bit chilly, though, with the lows getting into the 20s. But then Wednesday, a little bit colder, a little bit wetter as well, kind of a repeat of what we are going to be expecting tomorrow. Then Thursday, Friday, we're going to be clearing on up, making for a pretty nice and peaceful February end of the week. Once again, I am student meteorologist Justin Williams. Have a good day, and as always, happy Valentine's Day, and go dogs.